Welcome to Dualshock'd, the Brotherhood of Geeks PlayStation podcast. I am one of your hosts, Brett J. Rasmussen, and over here I got my other co-host.
You were like fumbling that. Spectre.
Spectre?
Yes.
Spectre. Yeah!
How you doing? Laryngitis.
Words are really hard. I'm doing good. I just got done watching All Elite Wrestling's Revolution pay-per-view, which was awesome. Yeah. And I know. I like wrestling.
You definitely have like a double-digit IQ for sure.
Shut up, dude.
it's yeah, but whatever.
What does that mean when I was like, hey, yo, Spectre, how about you come here and do a thing with me?
I had nothing better to do, really.
Yeah,
so, I'll be honest with you. So I'm back in action here. I was definitely under the weather a little bit. I didn't have Corona-chan, but it was
still the flu though.
It was definitely it was classic flu.
Normal OG flu.
OG flu. It hits you like a ton of bricks. Comes out of nowhere, and you're just out of commission for like 4 or 5 days at least.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm not leaving. I'm done.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to touch video games even. You just want to lay in bed and sleep. That's really all you want to do.
Yeah.
When you can, when you're not coughing, when you're not trying to vomit, you're just trying to sleep.
Yeah.
You just don't have the energy to even look at a computer or monitor or anything. You're literally that tired. So, I'm about like 99% back. I'm good now, I think.
Well, I'm glad you're not dead, Spectre.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, no. Otherwise, you have to rope somebody else into doing
that. Yeah, that's how I got Guru Blaze.
Right? Yeah. But
I'm joking. But anyway.
Like we were talking about off air. You'll be glad to know that I'm back on PlayStation more or less right now. I've been having my little flirtatious advances with PC again. I'm back on PlayStation playing Castlevania Requiem, which is the combo pack of Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. Castlevania, which is a PlayStation exclusive, actually, technically. So, right up your alley. But huge Castlevania fan, so it's fun to go through those again and play those. I never really played Rondo of Blood because that was never really officially released. I played the PSP version, if that counts. That was like the HD remaster version of it of sorts.
Yeah.
Because it was a game that was on PC Engine back in the day, which is the North American equivalent of that was the TurboGrafx, which nobody bought.
I don't even know what those are. So
it was a very obscure system. It was way before your time. But anyways, it was a fantastic game. It was just never really was ported here until the PSP. So I'm playing that right now, and then I'm kind of lining up my next game. I got Nier Automata. I'm actually gonna finish that 100% now and get the platinum on that. Because I played it before, I really enjoyed it. Actually, we talked about that before. It was a great experience. But now I'm actually gonna go through and grab the platinum this time.
Nice. Awesome, yeah.
What about you? What do you playing?
So I've, as I said, I just got done watching All Elite Wrestling's Revolution. I am a massive AEW mark, hence shirt. I love wrestling. I love it. I absolutely adore it. I have my gripes with another company, but when it comes to video games, I've been playing. I finished and platinumed Life is Strange 2. I enjoyed the story for what it was, but there was definitely some characters in it where I was like, there were some characters in it where it very much was like, ooh, this is.
It wasn't progressive enough.
No. I don't need a story to be progressive. Like, shut up, Spectre. That doesn't mean... Just shut up. That doesn't mean anything. No. Okay, so the story is that you play as Sean and Daniel. And you specifically play as Sean. But you find out Daniel has superpowers. Because the Life is Strange, somehow, some way, the main characters have some kind of supernatural power.
Through bad writing. Yes.
Through bad writing. And pretty much, like, the story deals with immigration and police brutality, a lot of that kind of stuff, and there were some characters where I'm like, wow, how much more of a caricature could you be? They were very much of the side characters, but still,
it's Ubisoft makes this, right? Or Don't Nod.
Don't Nod.
Yeah, they're French, but well, we know who they would have voted for had they been American. So, right.
Shut up, Spectre. Just shut up.
Yeah. So
sometimes I just can't stand you.
So basically, what you're saying is, it sounds like they're bashing you over the head with a message, and we all know what the message is, and.
Not all the time. Not all the time. It's literally when this character comes in, I'm just like, oh, because at least with Life is Strange 1, like, it was telling a story. Regardless of what you feel about it, like, it was telling a story. Where with Life is Strange 2, they were still telling a story, but you could have taken these characters out and you would have been fine. Like episode 3 was probably my favorite because there was no characters that very much had that caricature. And I'm being very...
Yeah, but you're really tiptoeing around things.
I really don't want to go ahead and try to stir the pot. That's not what I want to do. Because either I'll stir the pot, and most likely you'll just come after me and go, ha ha! This, that, and the other. And
I'm just impressed that it was so so heavy-handed with its message that even you were turned off by it.
It's not.
Because you kind of agree with these.
Yes, I do lean more to the left. We're talking a little bit about politics. Yes, I do lean a bit to the left. I'm very much like sitting in the middle of the median, Middleton, whatever. I don't know. But I do lean more to the left.
Like center left or something, right?
Yeah.
So you claim.
But we're not here to talk about politics. We're here to talk about video games. So I've been playing that. And we'll be going into our Darksiders review, or I'll be reviewing that. So
yeah, it's your jam. Yeah,
I love Darksiders. Ooh, and we'll be having an unboxing of the Nephilim edition, which was the big, huge one that came with the board game, which is heavy. So I'll be doing an unboxing of that.
That'll be interesting to see. I mean, the statue quality. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of jealous of it. I wish I was more of a fan. Yeah, I got them right up there. I wish they had, that kind of level of collectibles and statues for series that I enjoy. Not that I dislike Darksiders. I'm not casting shade on Darksiders. It's a decent series.
It's not your cup of tea.
It's not my cup of tea. It's a decent series, though. I just wish. I mean, it really blows me away at the collectibles for it. I wish other series had stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, I get you. But yeah, no. So I've been doing that, and we're already coming up to March, and
yes.
Ooh, so what we got?
Can't wait. We got it's a double whammy.
Doom and Animal Crossing.
Same day, March 20th, are releasing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I'll probably go into Animal Crossing first, just because it's the easier to pick up and play and stuff. I mean, it's very casual, but I'll be trying to hammer out a review of Doom as quickly as possible as well.
Yep, and we'll be also reviewing Animal Crossing too.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm very much looking forward to both of these. I mean,
I've never played Animal Crossing before. Never.
It's strange. I mean, it's such a popular series, and it's I like I say, it's definitely something you want to play with friends or with, like, for me, it's a girlfriend game. Like you play it with your girlfriend. It's a good bonding experience. It's something that anyone can play and enjoy. It's just a lot of fun. It's not, by no means is it like a hardcore type of game. I mean, it's very chill. It's very comfy.
Yeah.
And then Doom is just the opposite. It's very high intense.
How opposite is that crap? Like, I'm
competitive multiplayer. It's
literally polar opposites.
It's kind of funny that they're both coming out right at the same time. They couldn't be more different.
Yeah,
but they're both fantastic. So
I know you're excited for that collector's edition.
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping for. I mean, they give you the Doom Marine helmet. I was kind of hoping for another demon statue like we got for the Doom 2016. I like it. It's actually a really cool statue.
I'm not saying it's not. It's a bad. It is a rad statue, but why would you want another demon? You already have
because
one.
demons are neat and cool.
I get
that's kind of what I was
you.
expecting. I
I
guess.
get you, but it just feels samey to me. I actually am all about
I
them
guess so.
giving you
I don't know.
the Doomslayer helmet.
I mean, it's nice. I'm not complaining. At least it's a good collector's edition. It's just I
are you sure, Spectre? It sounds like you
I'm not
are.
complaining. No, I'm just saying. I wish. I mean, you had so many other, cool demons you could have picked from. But I mean, they have. I know there's other statues and stuff out there you could get. Like there's like a special like cyber demon statue, which is like ridiculously expensive. But there's other options out there. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy with it. So yes, we got that, and then we're not too far away from April when we have Final Fantasy as well, which I'll be playing this too.
Yep, we'll be playing that.
Yep,
we'll be reviewing that too.
A lot of things to.
And Resident Evil. Resident Evil 3 comes out in March. That's what I forgot.
That's all you, Boo.
We still have to. We're still going to be reviewing that game regardless because it is another anticipated game.
Yeah, for me, it's I mean, I'm not gonna have as much to say about Resident Evil. I mean, I'm definitely more. I was back in the day. There was two camps. There was the
Silent Hill
camp and the Resident Evil camp. But now Silent Hill's gone. But I'm still kind of in that camp, and that's kind of the horror I like. Is that more slow building, psychological, not really jump scary. It's more so
like Evil Within,
unsettling.
Isn't that kind of more of what like the more current one kind of is, or whatever?
Evil Within's kind of like that, but it's also made by the same guy that made Resident Evil. So
dude, I don't play horror games like that. So
it's not quite, what's his name, Shinji Mikami or whatever. I'm drawing a blank on the name. But yeah, no. So more or less, Silent Hill. If you want horror games like that, there's other things out there that are sort of in that same vein. But yeah, I'm not a Resident Evil guy, but I mean. The remake from last year looked pretty good, so I mean I'm sure this one will be competent as well too. So we'll see how that does, but definitely not what I'm looking for.
Competent games is what Spectre doesn't like.
It's not for me.
If it's just okay, it's garbage to Spectre.
No. It's not my kind of game really. So
I know. I'm messing with you. I get you. I get it. All right. Well, so we go ahead and begin.
Sure. Why not?
All right. Well, let's go ahead and begin with the first segment, which is what we always begin with: News of the Nation.
Continue.
All right, I'm good.
Okay.
I want to see
your system there.
Yeah, I did. I just want to see what you would do. All right. So let's begin with the first topic. First topic is March's free PlayStation Plus games.
Yes.
So this is from the PlayStation blog. And the two games that we get this month for March is Shadow of the Colossus and Sonic Forces. Do we want to go ahead and read the little paragraph they have?
I don't think Shadow of the Colossus really needs any introduction. I mean, it's a classic game. It's one I talked up a lot. It was probably one of the best games that came out.
Oh yeah.
Of this generation. Just such a fantastic remake. I'm actually glad that it is coming out on PlayStation Plus, even though I have the physical copy of the game. It's just now I can play it easily, and it's part of my digital library now. So when this comes out, that's great because I still need to get the platinum on that. So that's fantastic. Sonic, I mean, really no comment. I mean,
it very much is because of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that's doing actually really well.
Probably, yeah. So it's I have no idea of the quality of this game. Sonic Forces is it? Yeah. So I have no idea of the quality of it, but I mean, I've enjoyed some Sonic games in the past, but I was definitely more of a Mario kid.
I love Sonic. Mind you, my first console was a PS1, so like what I grew up with was Spyro and Crash. But I do remember going over to like my friend's house and playing original Sonic on their Sega Genesis and that kind of thing. Love Sonic, but Sonic Forces kind of has. They kind of try to have a mix of the side-scrolling and the 3D, so forward and backwards and that kind of stuff. But from what I've seen, it's okay. You can make your own Sonic character. Yeah, it's fine.
Incorporating like a fanfic element into it. Which is... Can I make Sonic Chew?
Sonic Chew. Jeez, I can't even deal with you. But No, you can pretty much Sonic Forces. Eggman has conquered much of the world with the help of a mysterious and powerful new villain named Infinite. Now you have to help assist Sonic and build an army to reclaim the world as they fight against chaos and destruction. Defeat enemies with blazing speed as modern Sonic, catapult past perilous platforms as classic Sonic, and then you can create your own custom hero character equipped with a variety of powerful gadgets. So, as I said, OG classic Sonic side-scrolling, and then the modern Sonic is the one like the Sonic Unleash, Sonic Heroes, that kind of stuff. So. It's fine. It's
much less exciting there, but I mean, at least you're getting, arguably one of the best games this generation with Shadow of the Colossus. So that's fantastic.
Yep. And then in late March, there's going to be a trial weekend. Excuse me. It's really dry in here, so. But there's a trial weekend for for Predator Hunting Grounds, March 27th to the 29th. So.
Well, I can check it out then. That was a game I was curious about. I'm a big fan of the original Predator movie. Which was fantastic. The newer ones are absolute trash. You want to stay away from them. Predator 2 was entertaining too with Danny Glover. But the original movie is a classic. It'd be nice to have a game that kind of captures that the action of that movie and that kind of cat and mouse aspect of that movie. So I'll give it a try. If it's free, why not? Free trial, I'll do it. I'm not going to put my hopes, have my hopes up.
When I saw the trailer for Predator Hunting Grounds, I was definitely looking forward to it. I'm like, ooh, what can you do with Predator? Because I enjoy Predator myself too. Probably not as much as you, but it does look fun. It looks like it's made by the guys who did Friday the 13th, I believe. Which Friday the 13th is a really fun game. It's very much, you have, I believe it's 3v1. So you have one person playing as Jason? Is it Jason? Friday the 13th.
Yeah, for that game. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you have one person playing as Jason, and then you have, I believe it's 3 to 4 other people playing as, like, the
camp counselor types. Yeah. Yep. So I had a blast with that game. That's actually a really fun game, too. I wish there was more games that would, take kind of these classic IPs and kind of try to gamify them or systemize them in a way, because you could have a lot of fun with it. It was what I did play of Friday the 13th, it was kind of a fun stalking mechanic to go through. So hopefully Predator's kind of a similar thing where you have kind of this one really overpowered character fighting against like these special forces and stuff like that. So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and move on. Next topic is that a Fortnite analysis says that earnings are dropping. Epic disputes the analysis, and the analyst argues back. This is coming from IGN, along with a report from SuperData. So SuperData put out a monthly games industry earnings report for January of 2020. The report placed Fortnite as the 7th highest earner on console, but outside of the top 10 on PC and mobile, and summed up the game's performance in saying that the game's earnings continued a gradual decline and hit their lowest level since November of 2017. Speaking to GameIndustry.biz, an Epic spokesperson subsequently called SuperData's reports wildly inaccurate, although didn't go so far to point specifically at this latest one. Quote, SuperData's data does not SuperData does not and has not ever had access to Epic's Fortnite revenue data, and SuperData's reports do not accurately reflect Fortnite's performance. We are disappointed that SuperData has repeatedly published wildly inaccurate reports about Fortnite based on what we believe is questionable methodology. While we do not and have not publicly shared revenue numbers for Fortnite, we will say that SuperData's reports do not align with reality. And then this is particularly notable as it becomes increasingly rare to see Epic reach out to press about Fortnite, particularly about hugely successful Battle Royale's financial success. And then SuperData comes back. The analysis told GameIndustry.biz that it stands by the results and saying that it has, quote, a proven methodology and validation process. And then Epic hasn't said anything. And I did pull up what the report... Let me go ahead and pull that quickly up. We'll just go ahead and do that. So on the report, it says the top grossing titles by category. So on console, in order from 1 to 10, FIFA 20 is number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Grand Theft Auto 5, NBA 2K20, Madden NFL 20, Fortnite, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. And then, yeah, Fortnite doesn't even hit on the PC or mobile. So yeah, what do you think about this?
I don't really care about the state of Fortnite, to be honest with you, but I think it sounds like a sort of like a case of, he said, she said here. We don't really. It's hard to say who to believe. I mean, this Super Data. I don't know their reputation. I don't know this this supposed methodology that they have. Mm-hmm. Epic. I mean, them kind of blasting back. I'm not exactly the first person to trust them either. But I mean, they're. I mean, like a lot of developers and game companies and publishers. They don't really like to they're very close to the chest with their data. They don't like to say like, okay, this game sold this amount or this or that. A lot of companies don't really like to do that
unless
they're selling really really well. Mm-hmm. But even then, it's you don't always want to put because they have to worry about how they appear to their investors and things like that. If indeed revenue is down, that could send signals to their investors and things could look bad for them, and maybe they'd rather wait until they have their their quarter report or whatever, and kind of present data in a more positive light with an explanation, or maybe revenue is down, but they can kind of explain why or things like that. So I understand where they're coming from because this Super Data or whatever this company is, it sounds like they're sort of pulling the curtain on them. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to say anything about it because I don't really know the reputation of Super Data.
Well, so I'm not kind of talking about. I'm talking about kind of more of how Fortnite has kind of like. If we look at this, like FIFA 20 is higher when it comes to its earnings. Now, mind you, this is back in January. But FIFA 20 is higher. Modern Warfare is higher. Kakarot surprises me. I'm so like that one's really high. So, like, in Grand Theft Auto 5, like, these games are making more money when it comes to their revenue more than Fortnite. And Fortnite is, like, the game to play.
Yeah, so it's popular, but I mean, it's the game... Go ahead.
To me, what I see here is it's not about that Fortnite isn't popular or people are dropping off. Maybe there are people dropping off or whatever, but I think it's plateauing. There's only so far that you can continue skyrocketing, going up, and making money. There's going to be a plateau that you're going to hit, regardless of the game. Even Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and it was the highest revenue game in all of, period. But it has now capped off. So, it's still making money. There's still revenue being made, but, Fortnite being number 7 when it comes to worldwide ranking games, FIFA is the most played game out there because it's football, not American football, but soccer.
Yeah.
That is very much well known, and people fall prey to the Ultimate Team thing. They spend tons and tons of money on Ultimate Team, so I'm not surprised that's the case. It's just I believe that Fortnite is just plateauing. You know what I mean?
Maybe, perhaps. I don't know. I think Fortnite is kind of a cancer in a lot of ways. I see it as represented. It's representative of it's kind of an avatar of everything that's wrong with this industry in a lot of ways. Not everything, I should say, but a lot of things I don't really care for about this industry. But yeah, it's just like PUBG. I mean, people are going to eventually move on to the next fad. People will move on to the next popular game.
Yep.
The way I kind of see things going is it's going to be more and more of a push to mobile. I think that's kind of going to be the next fad game. So.
Which I don't like. I honestly don't like that. If that's honestly the case.
Yeah, because I tend to look down on mobile, and I think you do as well. Mm-hmm. I don't really see it as. What can I compare it to? It's the. Here's my analysis. Mm-hmm. Maybe you'll agree with this. Maybe you won't. Mm-hmm. Console and PC games are to mobile games as a novel is to a comic book. See what I'm kind of saying there? where one is more substantial and is arguably kind of an art form. Comic books or mobile games by their nature are really meant to be simple, disposable type of things that that's meant to continuously generate revenue.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my
I can kind of see. I mean, again, I actually love comics, and there is an art form to them. But I do understand, like, there are comic series that are made just to print money and stuff. So I can see what you mean.
And I'm using comics as kind of an example of sort of a disposable type of thing. I mean, there's literally comics that, like, some of the comics I have are basically glorified advertising, essentially, for a lot of times when a new game comes out, they'll have like a tie-in comic, or movies too. They'll have a tie-in comic. There's a whole I guess in my mental association of comics is as a sort of a lowbrow, disposable, cheap, inane type of entertainment, as compared to a great work of literature which has some degree of meaning. And I'm not saying that all games, like console or PC games, are traditional games, are great in art.
There is shovelware
intrinsically. I'm just saying that it's there's definitely an indelible line between the two. I mean, there one has substance, is a grander experience, if you will, as compared to mobile, which is not really meant to. It's basically meant to be kind of a Skinner box of sorts that just drains money.
Yeah, no, I get you. But yeah, no, I'm not a fan of mobile games. I'm really not. So, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. CD Projekt... I don't know why I'm off with my words today. Jesus Christ. CD Projekt Red is Europe's second most valuable games developer. CD Projekt Red is now the second most valuable game developer in the whole of Europe. And this has been confirmed recently after the studio's market valuation surpassed $8 billion with a B. The number one studio is Ubisoft with $9.52 billion. So that's actually really close to Ubisoft. So that's really awesome for CD Projekt Red. I would bet that it's that they make really good games that are very consumer friendly, that are like Witcher 3 came out and they made 2 expansions, but they gave you tons of free stuff. They gave, like, when you bought Witcher 3, you got a soundtrack, just $60. You get yourself a soundtrack for the game and a bunch of other stuff. And then they gave out free cosmetics that are completely free, and then the only things you paid for were the 2 expansions.
They really know how to kind of develop their IP and market it, I guess you could say. Witcher being a prime example of that. It's especially after Witcher 3, I mean, turning it into a Netflix show. I mean, the merchandising behind it.
Well, yeah.
That's where a lot of this revenue is from. The whole Gwent sub game, essentially. It's almost like it's sort of like almost like a Rockstar strategy, where it's the games themselves that they release are kind of few and far between, but they really market and kind of get a lot out of those.
And mind you, the Netflix show, like The Witcher, is based off the books. It's not the video game is based off the books, and the TV show is based off the books.
Yeah,
itself.
but we wouldn't have had a Witcher TV show if not for the games.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Like the success of the game created the success of created the trajectory of the TV show. Even though it
builds the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So people who aren't into video games, they watch The Witcher and they go, wait, I have a PS4 because I play Call of Duty and maybe a sports game. Oh my God, are you telling me I can play this in a video game? Like, just people who don't follow the video game industry like we do. They're like, oh my God, I can play this? Hell yeah! And then they buy Witcher 3 and so on and so forth. It's just a cycle. So I think that's amazing. And
good for them.
They're such a good company. They're one of the very, very few developers and publishers really out there that are highly respected. Bethesda shot themselves in the head.
Yeah, I mean it remains to be seen. We'll see how Cyberpunk turns out. That's going to kind of we'll see if they have another hit like Witcher, and how they kind of develop that and continue that throughout, and market that over time.
But I think that's awesome that CD Projekt Red is now.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good to see a developer that I have some modicum of respect for doing well.
So let's go ahead and move on. This is pretty much kind of what's happening now. Pretty much, there are a bunch of different game events that are now being affected by the coronavirus or the COVID-19.
It's called coronavirus.
I know. Have to go ahead and have to be reported.
We don't need to get into its chemical symbols.
Whatever, man.
It's called coronavirus.
But there have been a number of different game companies that have been pulling out of cons and game events that happen throughout. So first we have the Taipei Game Show, which is February 6th to Taipei. Thank you. So it has been announced that the organizer of the Taipei Game Show. I'm glad you know how to say it, not me. Apparently.
So that PAX is on there.
Yeah, PAX is on there, which Sony has pulled out of there. Capcom has canceled any developer involvement in Monster Hunter Festa event. Square Enix is scaling back their showing. But the mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh, did send a letter to Sony urging Sony to reconsider because he says that, quote, these fears reinforce harmful stereotypes that generations of Asians have worked hard to dismantle. Pretty much what it is that because this virus started in Asia, it's been going out everywhere. So he's saying, please don't, because of the fear of the virus, okay. I want to go ahead and pull. I want to pull up this letter specifically, so that way I'm not.
Well, Mr. Mayor, you go.
He says. So pretty much according to. Okay, so he sent out a letter to PlayStation CEO Kenichiro Yoshida. I think I said that right. Saying to the gaming company president that the risk of individuals contracting the coronavirus in Boston, Massachusetts remains extremely low. He also stated in the letter that anti-Chinese and anti-Asian sentiment and misinformation have played a role in increasing fear of the coronavirus in the U.S. Quotes, these fears reinforce harmful stereotypes that generation of Asians have worked hard to dismantle. They trigger our worst impulses to view entire groups of people with suspicion, to close ourselves off, and to miss out on opportunities and connections of our global city provides. Boston is united in our efforts to dispel these harmful and misguided fears. He specifically urged PlayStation to play a role in pushing back against these fears. As a large international company, you have an opportunity to set a good example. As a leader in technology, you can show that you're motivated by facts, not fear. As a leader in the gaming and culture, you can show that you believe in connection, not isolation. There's only been one person who has been confirmed to have the coronavirus, and he is already under quarantine because he came from Wuhan, and he's already in quarantine and already recovering. And then Sony put out their own statement saying that we have made the difficult decision of canceling our we have made the difficult decision to cancel our participation in GDC, which is also another thing or another game event due to increasing concerns related to the coronavirus. We feel that the best option as the situation related to the virus and global travel regulations or restrictions are changing daily. We are disappointed to cancel our participation, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern. So on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I get it.
I wouldn't want to get off on a rant, but I mean, it's absolutely absurd. I mean, of course, if I was Sony, don't even respond to this. Ignore this completely. It's ridiculous. I mean, why would you go to? I mean, I think there's probably more to the story. Maybe they really seem to be pulling out of a lot of events in general.
Well, it's not just Sony though. It's everyone.
It's everyone, because I don't think they really see the value of these events. But also from just now from
PAX East has lost a lot of CD Projekt Red has canceled any travel for its employees to PAX East.
I think these events are sort of becoming irrelevant in a way. Beyond just the whole coronavirus stuff, I think it's just these events are becoming smaller and smaller and smaller in a way, and these companies would rather just dictate their own message through like a direct or a stream.
Well, but these are more like cons. These aren't like announcement events. These are more like cons, like Comic-Con and,
yeah,
and that kind of thing.
But still, I think they're probably seen it as like, well, what's the point? Why bother with these things? We don't really need them.
Because this is something that actually Sony specifically why they're choosing to not participate in the past two E3s is because they want to participate in more events that are more structured around the fan base, not a prestigious, hey, we're going to go ahead and announce things, and it's pretty much literally only for the press. The GDC, PAX especially, are all open to the fans. Like, it's a straight up and down con. Does that make any...
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know. I don't see these things as relevant as they used to be. And as far as pulling out for the virus thing, I mean, it seems kind of like a little trigger happy in a way, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, this is a...
I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah, this is a very, very serious, illness, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, this mayor, it sounds like he's just playing politics with it, of course, as usual. Yeah, I mean, if I was them, I wouldn't go anywhere near any large event. Just from a safety precaution until we really know the full extent of this problem. And even the recovery part of it, there's so much conflicting information out there.
Yeah.
We don't know how long the incubation period is. There's suggestions that you could become reinfected with it and remain contagious even after you're supposedly recovered. So it's a very nasty disease that's out there, and you have to take it seriously. So yeah, good on them. I mean, yeah, I would stay away from these large gatherings and events too. Yeah. And really, it's like I said, it's that, and plus I don't think they're nearly as relevant as they used to be. I think you're better off doing kind of like what Nintendo does, where you have directs and you control the message, and it's from a cost standpoint, it costs them basically nothing to do. As compared to going to these events, which cost lots of money. So I think it's a lot of companies are just kind of realizing that. It's like, well, why are we dumping all this money going to these events or doing these things when we can just kind of control our own message, do our own thing, and control the narrative then. But yeah, so with this Corona thing, yeah, I mean, definitely, good on Sony, good on everybody else that
Secret Red, PUBG Corp.
Don't listen to some political grandstanding.
For GDC, both PlayStation, Facebook, Oculus will not be attending GDC. Kojima Productions pulls out of GDC. EA is also canceling its participation with limiting attendance. Unity has pulled out of GDC. So it goes on and on and on about different companies. So yeah. Take it very seriously. This is not something that to be messing around with, I guess.
Yeah,
so I don't.
Why risk it?
No, I don't blame these companies for pulling out. And they'll be next year. You'll have it again. Once this is handled, then we can kind of deal with it. And I feel that is kind of reason why we haven't heard from PlayStation, because they want to have a big reveal and have it be an event of some kind, and they want to do it where their fan base is at a thing like PAX or GDC. I don't know if that was the plan, but that would make more sense for them. Does that make
I guess so. Yeah, I think they should just do their own event,
and maybe they are. I mean, mind you, I would agree. Do what you did back in February of 2013, but again,
I mean, we'll see how it turns out. But we just saw Microsoft basically do their announcement at another event with the Game Awards, and it just I don't know if that was the best strategy necessarily, because it felt like it was just sort of shoehorned in there, and it wasn't like the focus was really on that. Because I mean, you saw that it's like, hey, here's the new system, here's what it looks like, and now we have all these questions, and it's like, oh, hey, go back to the award show.
But dude, it worked. What are we talking about? The Game of the Year award from the Game Awards? No, we're talking about the Series X.
Nobody's talking about the Series X.
We're talking about it right now.
yeah, we're talking about, we're completely irrelevant. I'm saying
Whatever,
nobody's talking about it. A freaking logo got more attention than the Series X. So we'll see how it turns out. We need more information on it. But
right.
It's kind of irrelevant.
All right, well, that's all of the news of the nation. So let's get into our PlayStation conversation, because I guess we're segueing into that, because we're going to continue going on to that.
Sure.
So this is our PlayStation conversation.
PlayStation.
To begin, we've talked about the PS5, and I think we're going to be continuing talking about this more and more, speculations, pretty much probably until the announcement of it, and then even after that. But some new information we have about that is that the PlayStation 5 manufacturing costs reportedly are at around $450 per unit. So coming from Bloomberg, Sony's struggling to pretty much figure out the pricing due to costly parts. So pretty much the reason why they're trying to figure it out is because they're trying to keep their cards close to the chest. They want to kind of see what's going on with Microsoft, because they kind of want what happened back in 2013, is that knock out of the park kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and then add on to it is that the costly parts of the PS5 is happening with that. So, with the $400 unit cost and similar gross margin, the PS5 retail would have to be at least $470. Again, with it being higher than that, because okay, so I know I'm jumping around. I'm sorry if I'm rambling.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, my stance on rumors. I don't like rumors. It's because it gets your hopes up. There's rumors are always wild and flailing around everything. They're promising you the world, and it just doesn't really happen that way.
The reason why that the price is so high is because in regards to the PS5, there's the biggest problem that Sony is facing in regards to the PS5 is a reliable supply of DRAM and NAND flash memory, which is the reason why it's so scarce, is because it's also in high demand for smartphones. That's why. It is apparently an important piece to the PS5, whatever that would be. So I'm not entirely sure. But again, this is... It seems like speculation, but it's... The cost of the system, they're finding out, is going to be $450. That's the cost of the system. So, with that already goes over that magic number of $400.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's too much if they go for like $500, and that's just a base system with a controller and that's it. I mean, but it depends though. I mean, if I feel a lot more comfortable with that if other rumors are true, that it was a truly backwards compatible system that was backwards compatible with all of the past generations. I mean, because think of the value of that. I mean, look how popular retro systems are right now. Mm-hmm. Re-releases, things like that. Mm-hmm. So I could see that being part of an argument. Some people would really glom onto that. Like, well, I'm paying a little bit more for the console, but I can play all these old games I have, or I can pick up, PlayStation 3 games are a dime a dozen now, or same with PlayStation 2. For a lot of games, they're super, super cheap. So it's like you can go back and kind of revisit some of these classics. I mean, that'd be you got. I guess basically what I'm trying to say is if it's going to cost $500 or more, they got to kind of sell it to us in a way. It can't just be like, oh well, here's our new system and it's going to have better graphics and maybe some exclusive games eventually, and that's all we got. $500. It'd be like, well, it's kind of a hard sell for me. But if they came at you with like $500 and it has these extra new features, here's the value of it essentially. I think that would be more digestible for most people. And like you said, it's gonna depend on what their competition does essentially too. I think the difference this time around though is Sony's coming from a place of advantage essentially, because as contrasted with where they were before. I mean, they're basically dominating the market. I mean, they outsell Xbox Ones 2-1, over 2-1.
Yep.
They control the market, and this time around, much like what Xbox had before, is that you have people that are invested in the ecosystem of PlayStation, because you have people that have their Plus subscriptions, so they have their library of games built up. They have their friends on PlayStation. They have their games on PlayStation that they can, we know that it's at least confirmed that PlayStation 4 will work. Games will work on PlayStation 5. So they have all this built-in value that pushes people towards that. That's, something that's pushing me towards the system too, is that, well, it's not like I'm going into this system, with nothing. I have all these games I can play on it. So, I mean, it's that my default essentially is to move towards PlayStation. I'm not a console or brand loyalist the same way you are, where it's like it's not even a decision in your mind. It's just like, okay, I'm just buying the PlayStation. Just tell me when, where I got to be.
When, where, and how much it is. I'm ready. Here's my money. Take it.
For me, it's more of a more complicated decision. It's what is the best platform for me to game on, and right now I'm kind of conflicted between PlayStation and PC. And this is that's which is why I think I'm even more excited about the announcement than you are, because it's like I want to know more about the system to see is this something I want to continue to stick with. Is this I mean, I have a lot of things that I like about the PlayStation, and there's momentum that's pushing me towards this new system, but I want to know more about it. Because if it just comes out and it's a $500 system and they're not really offering anything new on it, it doesn't have backwards compatibility. The exclusives are evaporating, things like that. If that's what they come out with, then it's going to be like, well, myself and I think a lot of other people are going to kind of look at it and be like, well, what's the real value? I might start looking at maybe the grass is greener on the other side. So I think they have to come out with this, and if it's $450 to $500, I mean that's fine. But I think what would really be kind of like the game changer moment for them, like kind of the mic drop moment, as it were, would be if it was 100% backwards compatible. If PlayStation 1 through 5, imagine them coming out on the stage and saying that, because it's sort of like, think of how they cushioned the blow. For an example, think back to 2013. Remember, there was they had a very successful E3. There was a lot of momentum that was built up for PlayStation 4. But keep in mind, there was some bad news at the time as well. But they kind of cushioned the blow of it.
Which was what? I'm trying to remember.
PlayStation Plus went from a optional service to a mandatory service that was required for online multiplayer in the same way that Xbox Live was. So, bad news.
I get you. Mind you, for me personally, I already had Plus.
Yeah, for you it was irrelevant, but for a lot of people that was bad news. But it was kind of packaged in with all this other good stuff. That it was sort of like, it was sort of casually mentioned in there in the same vein as the system is still going to use discs. They had all this positive stuff they were coming out with, and then they kind of just sort of slid that in there, and people were sort of like, okay, well, whatever. I mean, it's not good, but it's not like bad. So I think you can kind of, it's a psychological thing. You can take some piece of bad news, like let's say like a price, and you can kind of cushion the blow by putting good stuff around it in a way. And say I could say, hey, here's this new PlayStation 5, and it's going to play all your games, from PlayStation 1 all the way from PlayStation 5. It's going to have all these great exclusives on it. It's going to cost $500. Yeah. But you see what I'm saying? But as opposed to just saying, here's a system, give me $500, and maybe it'll have exclusives. It can't play your old games. I'm sorry. It can only play PlayStation 4.
No, I get you.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
There's two ways they could go with this, and I'm really hoping they go the route of, making this a kind of a premium device.
Yeah.
Because, and I know we all know that there's logistical problems with emulation on PlayStation 3, and stuff like that. We all know the problems, but I mean, this was the same company that told us for the longest time they couldn't change our names, and now they finally did that. So I mean, anything is possible. I just think if they came out swinging like that, it takes we know it can be done. Look across the aisle. Look at Xbox. They did backwards compatibility right. We know all they got to do is just kind of copy off their paper essentially. Just do what they did essentially. And I don't care how you do it. Maybe there's some kind of creative solution. Maybe you have some solution where you pop in a PlayStation 3 disc and you download something for it, or something. I don't know. You get a free copy or something. I don't know, something like that. I don't know how you do it, but just figure out a way to do it because it's a feature that people like. It's definitely something I would enjoy as well. I think it's something that people tend to glom onto because it's nice. Why have 5 systems connected to your television when you could have one?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I wanted to go ahead and pull up a tweet. This is from Colin Moriarty, who he also has his own YouTube channel called Colin's Last Stand. I'm actually a massive fan of Colin Moriarty. He has been a part of IGN and Kind of Funny, so on and so forth. But he put up a tweet at No Taxation. If you want to follow him, please, he's great. But he put up a tweet, and he says, this is what the tweet. It says, U.S. prices of PlayStation consoles at launch with the inflation adjusted. So what he did is that each different PlayStation, the inflation price, so what it would be now, and then the price that it sold for at launch. So the PS1 in '95 was $300 sold at that time. For inflation, it would be $511.07. So it's a little over $500. For the PS2, which came out in 2000, it was priced at also $300, $299.99. At that time, for inflation to now, it would be $452.21. So a little over $450. And then in 2006, the PS3 was $600 when it came out, $599.99. For inflation, it would be the price of $779.23, so $780. And then in 2013, the PS4 came out. It came out at $400, $399.99. For inflation, it would be $451.15, so about $450. So the PS4 would be for inflation would be $450. So we're actually, if that's the case, I think are selling it at a loss. Maybe I'm not entirely sure. Again, I'm not a accountant, but then the last thing he says is that the PlayStation 5 will cost $499.99, perfectly reasonable. So like $500 because of inflation and because of how all of that goes. I believe we've even talked about how the price of games have become more expensive, hence why now there's so many different monetization mechanics or monetizations in games to kind of make up for that.
Yeah, it's what's happened is they've sort of circumvented the idea of, because we haven't really seen the price of games themselves rise really in a long time.
No, they were 40. Were they 60 even back then?
Well, really, I think the last major change was.
I thought it was like 40 to 60.
No, the last major change that I recall was and of course it's different by region and everything, but PlayStation 2 games would typically retail for about $50 when they came out, in most cases. And then around the time of the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, that's when we started to see the shift to $60. And it's kind of stayed there. That was, you think about that, it was 14 years ago.
Yeah, jeez.
But what we have now to make up for that is other revenue streams. You have microtransactions. You have companies now have subscription services. Multiple subscription services. Yeah. It's not just the Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus. It's PlayStation Now. It's Game Pass. Things like that. And that's and companies are more attracted to that idea because it's a consistent revenue stream. It's not a one and done type of thing.
Yep.
So I think there's nothing that says the other thing to consider with all this too, this price, is there's nothing that says that they have to sell it at a profit. It could be sold at a loss. I mean, PlayStation 3 was probably the best example of that, where it was sold at a tremendous loss. It was like $200 loss per unit, crazy. But the idea is that, or even like PlayStation 4, I think it was famously. I mean, it was still basically at kind of a profit, sort of. But what they said, their tagline for it was, if it sells just one game, then they're already kind of in the black there. It looks good then, they're from a profitability standpoint.
Yeah.
And obviously every system's going to sell at least one game. You think, right. But I mean, they could, even if it does cost around $400 or so to make, or a little bit higher, they could still price it at $399 and take a little bit of a hit on it, to maintain that market dominance that they have. So that could be a decision that they have. I mean, because and plus the other thing is, I mean, $399 worked out really well for them last time.
No, like $400 is that sweet spot, honestly.
Yeah. Because once you get over that, it becomes like it's not that much money really in the grand scheme of things, but just from a mass market standpoint, a lot of people look at that and they think that
that's still a lot of money to part with. To a lot of people, that is still a lot of money.
For
a video game console. Like, again, you don't need it. You don't need a video game console.
Yeah, it's for a discretionary purpose like that. It can be seen as a lot of money. So I think $399 is a sweet spot. It just works out well. I mean, because you can have your system and a game, and it's all under $500. I think that's more appealing
for me personally. Even if the PS5 comes out to be $500, like if both the Series X and the PS5 is $500, like I would be fine with that. Like, regardless, if it's $500, fine. And maybe it's because I've just been around video games and I'm so like deep into like the video game, like the industry itself, and I know how it works and that kind of thing. Maybe that's why I'm so kind of like, well, it's $500. Yeah, sure, fine.
You're comfortable with that price.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that price. But I do know that there's a lot of people who would not be happy about that. And then if Microsoft is doing the rumored 2 different versions, they have the Series X, which they announced, and then a Series S, so like a cheaper version of the new console.
Yeah.
Then there's that too. So then, like, okay, so like I would think if that's the case, the Series X, which is the more powerful one, that would be $500, and then the lower one, the Series S, would be $400. So now what do you do? Do you try to, because they're not doing, to me, it doesn't sound like they're trying to do like a PS5 Pro or whatever. It's PS5, this is it, bam, like this is the one.
I think the other part of this too is that they have to really, in order to sell the system to you, you have to kind of answer that question. Why should I buy this?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's especially for someone like me. I mean, like, it's different for you because you're.
I'm a fanboy.
You're a fanboy and you're early adopter of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna buy it day one no matter what.
Yep.
But
Mr. PlayStation, that's the whole thing.
But for me, it's more so about I'm already conflicted about if I even want to continue on with PlayStation as kind of my preferred, gaming, platform of choice.
You're almost done with consoles. You're like, I just want to go back to the PC.
I almost want to, yeah, and it's it's already kind of tenuous if I even want to stick with it. So it's like there has to be some kind of value proposition there. Like, why should I want a PlayStation 5?
Yeah.
And if the answer I want to hear is, well, you can play these exclusive games on it, new God of War, and there's other stuff coming as well too.
Yep.
Maybe a Medieval 2 remakes, things like that. I mean, I could point to the PlayStation 4 and say, okay, here's a bunch of games that I only could have played on this system. It was worth my purchase.
Yeah.
So something
because that's my whole thing too.
Something like that, and I think a value in and of itself would be the backwards compatibility. I think that's a huge thing.
Oh yeah.
So if they come at you and say you can play these exclusive games, you can play all your old games, it's like, okay, that's a good value for me. I can see that. That's arguably in a lot of ways it has some advantages over PC even, because a lot of these games never had a proper PC port. I can't go and play even a game I'm playing right now. I can't play. There's no Symphony of the Night official port on PC. So I mean, there is a value proposition there. I want them to come out with that, which is why I'm really excited for the reveal, because I want to know more about this.
I agree, and I think that's where everyone is. I think that's that's kind of the big thing about this, is that we're all just kind of going like, where is it? That's why we're kind of like, anything, rumors, whatever. This is the main topic of our episode, like, today, and it's just about a reporter is saying that they cost $450. Like, and mind you, this is important because you very much are a proponent of costs. Of like the pricing of systems is what will make you become the console leader and the console generation leader and the winner of that console. And that's what PlayStation did this one.
Price is huge. It's not necessarily your exclusives. It's not necessarily your power even. It comes down to pricing. I think it's first and foremost that can make or break a system more so than any other factor. There's a lot of factors that go into kind of the cake, but price is arguably the most important. I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd like to learn more. It feels like we're kind of like getting to the 11th hour here, and we don't really know anything. I mean, we're already basically in March, and so I mean, think about this: we are maybe 8 months away, not even, from launch, and we know next to nothing about this system.
March,
assuming it comes out in November.
August, September. Yeah, like 8-9 months.
Yeah,
out there.
I don't think it's coming out in December. I think it's coming out in November. So
no, it's going to be before Black Friday.
Yep.
So I would say more like September, October.
Yep. That's not even 8 months away, and we know nothing about this system. Almost next to nothing.
We've gotten scraps, but we haven't gotten the reveal. We haven't
we don't know what it looks like.
We got a logo for the PS5. Great. Tell us that this now exists. We don't know what the controller
looks like. We don't know if it's backwards compatible.
Yeah,
we don't know almost everything about it.
Xbox is on the offensive, it seems like. Xbox is very much on the offensive. It's like, hey, the launch titles, Halo Infinite and Hellblade 2. This is what the box looks like, and this is the controller. Series X, bam! But mind you, we've got also, I think they also came out with specs too. Mind you, it's very surface level specs. But I think it's I believe it's 12 teraflops of RAM or something.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was just, but it's very much bullet point, and I saw that, I'm like, isn't that the same thing that PlayStation told last year? Because they had the famous Wired article that they have. But they need to come out and do something. You don't need to name the price right now. Name the games that you're preparing for. They don't even
give us an idea of what it looks like.
Tell us that you're making God of War sequel. Tell us that you're going to be doing a Horizon Zero Dawn sequel, the Uncharted sequel, or another Uncharted story, or whatever. What games are you going to be doing? Bam! And then you can also use the PlayStation 5
Are the rumors true about there's probably going to be a Demon Soul remaster?
Yeah, you can announce the Blue Point project, and Blue Point is the one who's doing that rumor. Yeah.
But I mean, I think they have a real chance. I mean, maybe they just want it to be absolutely perfect. They want it to go as off without a hitch.
Well, mind you, they do have everything to lose. They do have everything to lose right now.
Yeah.
Mind you, the companies do like to say this is not about it's not a console war. The people who make this a console war are very much pundits like us, and the fans who are Xbox is better, no, PlayStation's better, and then Nintendo is just chilling in the back. But it is still competition.
It's still competition. I mean, it may not be the idea of a kind of an encouraged console war. Back in the 90s it was very different. It was the console war idea was very much something that was encouraged by the companies themselves. They liked the idea of consumers fighting over brand loyalty.
Yeah.
And it galvanized people, and it made them even more loyal to their systems in a way over time. And I think that worked. Now it's become more so of a can't we all just get along, give peace a chance, man, type of thing, where it's
I think it's now more about convenience.
Yeah.
What is more convenient for me?
But they don't really there hasn't been really a dunk on moment since I think last
2013.
E3. Yeah, since then. Yeah, that was the last time we actually
man, that was great.
That was the last time we actually had a kind of a moment
like
that.
Man, they that was the best. Mind you, it was so subtle, but it was the best.
I wouldn't say it was subtle, but it was.
Oh no! What I mean that it's they didn't go hey, Xbox, you're doing this wrong. No, no, it was.
I mean, it was
straight up a slap in the face, but
yeah, it was pretty much it was great. What they were doing.
Man!
But yeah, we don't really see that anymore. And now it's all let's all just get along. Let's all play cross-platform with each other.
But mind you, we're now at a time where convenience is king. Let's say, for instance, you choose to go Xbox, or you choose or PC. You're not going to get a console, but I'm going to get a PS5. But you and I want to go ahead and play, I don't know, Diablo, the new Diablo 4. There we go. Or Doom Eternal. If you and I want to play. In order for us to play, currently, you would need to get a PS5, I would need to get a PS5, or I would need to get a PC, and you need to get a PC, and then we play. crossplay is becoming much more. People want crossplay because people don't want to buy another console only to play one multiplayer game, so I can play with the buddies who chose to buy it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, that's becoming more apparent now. Is the crossplay, the cross buy between I just want to buy one console or one thing and play with all of my buddies on that one thing. So that's convenience is becoming key. Hence why now, like, it's so funny. If we look back to 2013, how Xbox was like, you need to be connected to the internet all the time, and you need to do it every 24 hours, and everyone, including myself, was like, no, screw you, that's wrong.
It was a system that was very much ahead of its time, in terms of what it originally proposed to do. Now, I mean, a lot of the same bullet points that they had back then are just kind of sort of a standard thing. I mean, I don't think people would care so much if they said, like, you know, they came out with the PlayStation 5 and said it won't have a disc drive. You know, I mean, obviously from backwards compatibility.
I think disc drive is still important though, because disc drives are still important. People still want to play DVDs. I don't think it's that one, but I think if they went to PS5,
I don't think people play DVDs anymore. I think people get Netflix and you know, their streaming services.
Regardless, but that's a convenience thing though. Having a disc drive, like the Xbox.
It is a convenience thing. What's more convenient though? I can, you know, 2 clicks, you know, and search a movie and just play it on my account, or find a DVD, put it in the disc tray.
But what I mean by that, you're right. It is easier for me to go, pull up Netflix, haha, bam, Disney Plus, Hulu, whatever. Bam.
I mean, I'm kind of, like I said, I was just kind of said this earlier. I'm kind of glad Shadow of Colossus. I gotta get around to playing that again.
You already said, yeah.
I'm kind of glad it's going to be coming out digital, even though I own the game. Right? It's like, okay, it's one less. I put my game back in my case and kind of put it.
I know.
Display. It's like,
don't worry, I do the same thing too.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is though, it's not. I don't mean convenience where like, oh man, it's either put a disc in and bam, or I can just pull it up. No, it's more about I have the choice of going. I have an old DVD or an old game, but now that I have to go ahead and rebuy them digitally or whatever because I have them physically originally. You know what? You understand what I mean? So like disc tray, like I will say probably years from now that will become a thing. Like digital sales are I believe it's almost 60-40 when it comes to digital sales versus.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Again, I'm ballparking. Yeah. I don't know, but it's no matter what, it's.
I'd like to see. I'm just saying. I'd like to see a disc tray just because, you know, for the purpose of backwards compatibility.
Yeah. That's
if it's not backwards compatible, then you can take the thing out for all I care and save $100.
But I do think that, you know, if the PS5 or the Series X or whatever says it has to be connected to the internet or whatever, like. Okay, like smart homes exist, and now internet is far more important because we need it for almost everything. You want to go ahead and plug
even the PlayStation 4 sort of feels like a gimped system without the internet.
Without the internet,
it's kind of a blank, you know, thing. Like I can't see my friends, I can't see a store or anything. It's like it's a very basic system without it. It's just a box.
But again, it's another. Some people can't afford that. Some people can't do that. So I mean, I don't know. The price point of this system is very intriguing, and I'm very interested to see what they choose to do with that pricing. Do they go with the $450? Do they go with the $400, or do they go to $500? You know,
I think it's one of those things where. You can have you can go the route of it being more expensive, but you have to offer something much more for that. Like I said, something like the backwards compatibility, or and promising more exclusive games, things like that. Because that's something that pulls me back. I mean, like just me, kind of the neutral, non-brand loyal consumer. It pulls me back. It's like I was thinking about it in the back of my mind. I was like, I really want to play Ghost of Tsushima. I really want to play like some of these games that can only New God of War. When that comes out.
Well, you're not an exclusive guy. That's why I'm surprised that is actually a component to you going, because you're not an exclusive guy.
But I'm not an exclusive guy, but that makes me look more so at even little advantages. Like I consider exclusives to be a little advantage, but it's a bullet point, something that's there. Because the thing is that these systems have become. Everything between console, PC, everything, whatever, they're so homogenized. They're so similar that whatever little differences there are, I'm hyper focused on it and I'm magnifying.
Yeah, like even PlayStation Now feels just like the Game Pass. Like it's $10 per month, just like Game Pass. You can download the PS4 games. So any PS4 game that is on PlayStation Now, you can just download into your system, and then you have it. As long as you have it now, you can play them, just like Game Pass. The only one difference is that because Now has been around longer, you still have to stream PS3 games. It is backwards compatible to the PS3, but you have to stream them from the PS4. So there's that downside.
And really kind of the reason I harp so much on the backwards compatibility is because it's such a glaring omission compared to its competition, compared to the Xbox, and compared to PC.
I lost my mind when Xbox came out and said, yeah, we're going backwards compatible to 360. The year after they went, oh yeah, we're also going to be doing original Xbox. So I'm like, and they went, yeah, we're one of the first ones is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And I'm like, what? Yes, please. Yes.
But and that's why it's such a glaring omission to me, because it's like, the competition has it and everything else is kind of otherwise the same,
Well, so, I will say that was kind of the first kind of comeback at least in my opinion, how Xbox was kind of able to get their steps back, to get the groove back.
Yeah.
When they said, yeah, we do backwards compatibility, you just put in a disc, bam, it works. Like, I was like, people lost their minds over that. And then,
because it adds, when you think about it, it adds a lot of value to the system, because a lot of people still have these games, or they can purchase a lot of them relatively cheaply.
People still play Call of Duty,
and and as time goes on, people are nostalgic. I mean, look how popular remakes are. Look how so many games nowadays are just basically re-releases essentially of past games. So I mean, look in the next couple of months we basically have how many different remakes do we have? We have Final Fantasy remake, we have Resident Evil 3 remake. You can even argue Doom Eternal is sort of kind of a remake of classic Doom that's been around forever. So I mean, a lot of games that are coming out are remasters and re-releases of older games, and they do really well. So that's why having backwards compatibility is such a big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. We just need an event.
But it needs to happen soon. I think it needs to happen because we're going into March, or like in March, and it doesn't help with this whole coronavirus happening too. Like, I feel that has definitely thrown off a lot of plans. It's just everywhere. It's not just in the video game industry. This whole thing is messing with a lot of other things. So, like, I don't know. This is a very interesting time, a very fun time, I guess, to be part of the video game industry and to be watching it and seeing how it develops and everything.
Yeah, I just me especially, I really would like to learn more about it, because then I can make kind of my decision. I kind of feel like I'm at where I was in 2013, where it was kind of like I don't know which way to go in, because back then my default was, I'm going to get an Xbox. I'm definitely going to go for an Xbox.
Yeah, but then Xbox shot themselves in the head.
But then you have like a crisis of faith, because that whole event, it was just like, oh my god, this is really beyond the pale. And I'm hoping PlayStation comes out and it's not something like that. The only way it could be something like that would be if they came out and said, okay, it's not backwards compatible, and all of our exclusives will be coming to Steam now.
Yay! And then I will go, God dang it. Okay.
And if they said that, I would be like, okay, well, I guess I'm not getting a PlayStation 5 then.
For me, I would just go, oh God, I am getting just a glorified PC. Great.
Yeah, you're getting a watered down PC at that point. It's just like with nothing that makes it unique. It's like, then you'd make your Steam account.
Then I make my Steam account.
You'd be like, I'm done with this.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I think the only reason I would still get a PS5 is because of just I'm already enveloped into that, like the trophies and that. So.
I will say that the trophies are arguably, I'd say,
a big staying point.
They are a big staying point for me as well, too, because I'm invested in that. And trophies, to their defense, I like the idea behind them. We've done episodes on it before.
Okay.
I like the idea of platinum trophies, give me something for completing the game. And
for specific games, you get free stuff.
Yeah, and for free stuff for certain gaming. And probably one of the biggest advantages of it is that when you look at someone's profile, you can say with a pretty high degree of confidence that everything on there is legit because it's actually pretty hard to hack. As compared to Xbox, which is kind of fairly easy to do, and Steam, which is ridiculously easy to do. There's actually an app called Steam Achievement Manager, which lets you basically just pop achievements willy-nilly.
Ew, that's disgusting.
So
I don't like that.
So at least there's an element of legitimacy to it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm giving Sony high praise for trophies because they came out with them back in 2009. They really have done almost nothing with them since then. But
what do you want them to do with them? Like, I don't even know what more.
Something.
What the? Give a solution then, Spectre. Like, what does that even mean?
Here, simple idea. Maybe make a way to display them or have something. Like, a lot of games have take ideas from games here. There's a lot of games where you can kind of go to like sort of like a trophy room within the game and see kind of your accomplishments or things like that. Mm-hmm. Maybe make something simple like that. Maybe I could. How about this? Maybe I could pop into like a virtual museum and see your trophies, and you'd have them displayed, or there'd be like a timeline. Just it would be a neat kind of little feature, you know. I mean, that's just one little idea.
I get you. That does sound like PlayStation Home, though, and we all know how that went.
Yeah, PlayStation. Hey,
I love PlayStation Home, and there's a massive fan base who love PlayStation Home. And when that server died, like, ooh, that was a sad day.
I like that they're doing they're kind of doing like a community challenge thing right now. At least it's something. I mean, just do something. Do something with it. I mean, you've had these things here for years.
I totally forgot about that. I should have brought that up. But yeah, just a quick tidbit. Yeah, PlayStation's doing a pretty much big, huge fan event. So like, there's 3 different goals, and if you register, sign up, all you have to do is like you go to the website, go to PlayStation. I
still can't figure out how to register for it though. That's my only complaint so far.
Are you kidding me? I got registered like easily.
It's not working for me.
Huh. Weird. I guess I'll like come over and maybe figure that out. But pretty much what it is that there are 3 different goals. Each goal, if you register before each goal, you will then be able to qualify to get said item. So I believe first goal is a theme, second goal is a set of avatars, third goal is another dynamic theme, so you get a static theme, a set of avatars, then a dynamic theme, but by registering regardless. And what you're doing is that you as a community in the PlayStation Nation, you want to go ahead and play as many video games that you can and earn trophies. I believe like the goal was it's like 125,000 trophies. The next one is 250,000, and then I believe it's 500,000 combined trophies.
And then the big prize is, of course, that you have a chance to win a
literal platinum trophy,
physical platinum trophy with your PSN ID, engraved on it.
Mm-hmm.
So which really cool.
Oh man, I would love to have this so much.
See, isn't that like a fun thing?
Oh my god!
Like, I mean, have a special reward. Like, I mean, like YouTube gives you like, you know, a play button for like 100,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. Maybe if a person goes for 100 platinum, send them like a little thing or what. I don't know.
I get you.
Just little things like that. World of Warcraft back in the day, what was it, the 10th anniversary? They sent you a freaking statue.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you get
it? No, because I had actually switched accounts at the time. So I traded my account. So I wanted to play a different character, and another guy I met on there was he wanted to play. I think I was like a warlock at the time, and he had like a 60 hunter that was actually geared. And we were both geared, so I'm trade, and he's like, let's do it. So technically, I didn't have the full 10 years, so I missed it. But there was no way you could have known.
I get you.
So I missed the boat on that, but whatever, you know. But my point is, like, you know, have some fun with it. Maybe encourage people to go after these things, because I don't know. I guess that for me, from my perspective, I see a lot of value in them because it creates a sense of loyalty.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what it's doing to me right now. It's making it hard for me to kind of leave. If there were no trophies, it'd be a lot easier.
Oh, I agree. Like, even for me, like, trophies kind of became a thing that made me fall in love with the PS3. Like, I love, like, that's...
It's a neat idea. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure, I know, who cares if they're worthless? I mean, everything about video games are technically worthless. I mean, you don't get anything, you know, if you 100% a Zelda game, you're not going to get it, you know, Shigeru Miyamoto's not going to come to your house and shake your hand, you know, if
you go ahead and do the fastest speed run of Crash Bandicoot, you know...
You get nothing, you know, I mean, so it's all kind of pointless at the end of the day, but it's some people find it valuable.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's what we covered. I guess we're just going to continue waiting to see what more we can find out about the PS5, I guess.
Yeah, that's gonna be our catchphrase for a while.
I guess so. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please let us know in the comments what you guys are excited for. What you guys think of the pricing. Let us know what you guys think of that. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. YouTube.com/Brotherhood of Geeks. Press the like button. And also press the bell icon. That way, whenever we put up a video, you know we put up a video. Likes always help too, because then with the algorithm, it's more likes, people will go ahead and see us more. Yay! Dance, Spectre, dance, dance, Spectre. Come on, Spectre, dance with me. Come on, you can do it. Do the thumbs up, okay? No, screw you. Okay. But yeah, go ahead and give us a like. Also, you can also follow us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/The Brotherhood of Geeks. And then you can also follow us on Twitter at Dualshock'd BOG. That's the name of our PlayStation podcast, Dualshock'd BOG. And then we also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Brotherhood of Geeks. Yes.
That's all I got for now.
That's all I got?
Yep.
Nothing else?
That's it. Yeah. Couple of weeks left. We got a couple of good games coming out, and then hopefully we get something substantial about PlayStation 5.
Yes, please. All right. Well, hopefully we do. All right. Well, I'm Brett J. Rasmussen.
I'm Spectre.
And as always, live to play, play together. We'll see you guys next time.